What's up, guys? Welcome back to the OPL Week 6, Day 3 Headspace Round. Spawn Aegean. That was a pretty slow, drawn out, suffocating victory for Bombers in the end, I think.
But I feel like it shouldn't have been. Tectonic had so many tools, the Java and the Galio. We talked about it so many times, and they just did not pull the trigger after about the first 5-10 minutes.
But what did Bombers do well that game to pick up the victory? I mean, like, the split push was there. They did play well defensively, I feel.
And that's a big thing. They did play well defensively. They didn't overreach when they were in like the 5v4. Paprise was like trying to group topside and mimic, sorry, not mimic, the Fiora.
Sleeping.
Just associate, you know, but sleeping actually taking away the inhib for free. And when they were grouping, they kind of like backed away as best as possible. They were actually just playing respectfully with that numbers mismatch and allowed Sleeping to have room on the other side of the map to actually take down structures, take down inhibs, end the game.
For sure, and that is the first time we've seen a Gangplank pick up, a counter pick come through.
And actually be successful.
And win after they tried to protect the Gangplank with 2 bans. I think that is very important to point out. This wasn't like a blind first pick. This was a red side 3rd pick, then ban away 2 champions, and still Sleeping able to come up with the goods.
And honestly, 2 is the magic number because now he has 3 answers. We've seen the Lucian. We've seen the Fiora now. We've seen the Riven. They have to ban those things away. If they have to respect so many, then some of these bans, if they do want to actually leave the GP open and give it away, they have to start hitting the ban list in the first phase, so it just opens things up for the Bombers.
And Sleeping had his best game so far, definitely. Was able to play a more slow, methodical, drawn-out game plan and just exert pressure over the map. And I like the fact that in his windows that he had to go aggressive, he was just willing to do it.
He actually did it,
Throw caution to the wind. See Paprise right now hovering the Lucian. Wonder if they one more time just go ban to this back to this Gangplank ban pick.
I mean, potentially. I mean, after game 1 performance, maybe they don't really have an answer. It's only game to game. They don't have much time to try and figure anything out. So no, they don't actually opt in for the Gangplank. Does Sleeping pick it up? Or does it fall through to the last pick once again?
He seems to be the guy that doesn't play meta. He plays like counter meta. And I say that in like, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. But in that last game, it worked.
It's pretty risky in terms of like player perception. Because when you play weird things to the counter of the meta and then it doesn't perform well, like you just get blasted. As a pro player, like that's when you just look like an idiot. You pick some weird niche counter pick that you're adamant works and it just fumbles on game day. Can be rough.
Certainly can be the case. It's going to be Skarner picked up right now. See whether Seb can have some good influence over the match with that. Rosie going to grab Alistar one more time. Definitely his best Alistar performance last game. Couple of early missteps. One in particular where I actually can't fathom the thought process behind it. But then apart from that, able to Taylor Swift it.
Just
and shake it off and go into a good late game.
Sees 2 people, he's like, oh, they're together, I'm going to combo them. Oh no, there's a jungler, there's a mid laner. All up in my grill. Unfortunately, you guys go down, but I feel like, definitely picked it up towards the end of the game. So good stuff to turn around. We talk about like mental fortitude and game to game, like throughout the series, but happened during the actual play.
And now they've had a very good win. So I wonder, does it click a little bit more? Are the pieces starting to come together? Yeah, is the monkey off the back? Now is this the game where they come out, they absolutely blast Tectonic, then they look to actually start making a late build into the season?
I mean, maybe all they needed is that confidence boost, right? A lot of teams, we've had multiple guests on the Analyst Hangout from different teams in the OPL. They've all said the same thing, like Sleeping is a good player, he just doesn't perform on game day. Bombers should be doing better than they are. So maybe with that victory, now over Tectonic, they can actually continue the upswing.
See a Luxhover coming out for a very long time, but it's going to be a Corki blind pick, 3rd side.
Pretty standard stuff. I feel like Luge can play a pretty similar game to the one he did game 1. If Sleeping can get the same sort of advantage, top side, if the bot lane can just hold fast, and he can do that as well, he can just farm up on the Corki.
Be very curious if the reason he didn't play Ryze is because the Urgot is up and available. Because Luch is a Ryze player. And I feel like Ryze is a pretty safe 3rd side red pick, and then you ban away, you know, the Cassiopeia, as we're seeing now, regardless. Because it does well into Corki as well, because it just stops Valkyrie. I like colourful keyboards. Do you have a colourful keyboard?
Yeah, I got an RGB one. You know, you can change up all the colours. You know, I don't like the fact that like it leaves like a mirror image of what you've actually pressed. I don't like that one. With like the key press and it highlights and it changes all colour. Like, I feel like I pick one, and then like, I don't know, you can like, I like the different zones. You know when people set up their keyboard like WASD or like pink, and like the arrow keys are red and like QWERTY is blue. I like that. I like that stuff. That's cool. That's a colourful mouse as well.
Very hard to have WASD as pink and then QWERTY blue, because they do share a similar
W
key.
just alternates, mate. Alright. W just alternates. Hey, the Urgot.
got banned away.
Actually gets banned.
I mean, that feels like they didn't have a ban, and they just didn't want to play against something a little bit more unorthodox. That's the time I can understand the got banned.
Honestly, I don't understand it. You pick Corki. Like, the Urgot was very specifically for the Ryze matchup.
Yep.
I mean, he's significantly more mobile. An 80 carry into the Urgot, you can outrange him, whereas the Ryze kind of has to step up a little bit more.
Tiger looking for a Caitlyn pickup here. See what they go towards on the top side of the map. Aurelion Sol right now being hovered by low.
Pretty unlikely we'll see that one. We really only have one Aurelion Sol player in the OPL, and that's Swiffer. I feel like he's the only one that's actually ever reasonably put an amount of time into that.
He also hasn't played it for over a year.
Yeah, he hasn't. He absolutely has not.
I don't even know if we have one anymore.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But last pick. Just over 10 seconds coming out from Tectonic. What do they choose to go up against the top side? Of course, Bombers actually holding their last pick, counter pick, for sleeping once again after such a good game one performance. Makes a lot of sense.
It just warms my heart when I see a team say, we didn't really go in enough. Let's get us some more R buttons going.
Zach.
We've got a Zach, we've got a Braum, we've got a Sion. Even Ezreal can skirt the fight a lot safer and cleaner than what a Caitlyn can.
Even their mid laner, they don't have a Zoe, they got a Wombo.
Yep, you just got a big Wombo combo. Just get everyone in there and start putting in some work. Of course, that is actually matched quite nicely by Bombers if they got themselves a Nataskan and a Alistar.
Not to mention, he gets the double hop over the top into that sweep. We've seen a big few combos in the last few days, especially this morning.
Yeah. Huge one out of Praedyth, actually. Nearly turned that team fight in the game when they were down 15,000-ish gold.
Yep.
However, it's going to be Sion, Zach, Orianna, Ezreal, and Braum taking on a Nah, Skarner, Corki, Caitlyn, Ali combo.
But you have to think, looking at Bomber's composition, Seb might have a real rough game this game, I think. Ezreal, very hard to get on. Orianna has the slow as well. Braum can stand in between. There's three full tank champions, Braum, Zach, and the Sion, that he really does not have any business wanting to be ulting. So I feel like the Scorpion might have a bit of a rough time this time.
I feel like Tiger's going to be real safe, but Luch is going to run into the problem of you want to follow up engage as Corki, who never really attacks on his max range because he wants to spell weave as well. Run over an Orianna ball, and it's only a Caitlyn left available with 3 tanks. Both of these comps actually suffer from that. If a carry dies, there may not be enough damage to get through the pure meat that will be available for the other team.
Yep. Absolutely, yeah.
What did you say? It was just a walking health bar.
Yep.
I feel like we got 6 walking health bars in this game.
That's a lot of health. Across both teams here, taking a look at low. And tilting. It's very long hair. Longest hair in the OPL by far.
They are locks.
They are locks. Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Pick me Braum. It's Tilting's favorite saying. Is it? Probably not. Probably not.
I think he was like, pick me Sona, please. I want to play it in the OPL. As we're on to Summoner's Rift for game number 2. It's Tectonic taking on the Bombers. And Laura is standing alongside Tectonic coach Cyclone.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm standing here along with Cyclone. It's the first time you guys have been going up against Bombers this split. What advice did you give the team before this series and also after game number 1?
Obviously, game 1 didn't quite go like we planned and we played a little bit scared. So I just said to them, the next game is a new problem to solve and we'll talk about the first one tomorrow or the day after. So just to give them hell and focus on this one.
Taking a look at the Bombers lineup, this game, what's the biggest threat you can see for Tectonic?
I think the double 80 carry, with Corki and Caitlyn, could be a big problem if we go to late game. The fact that sleeping's not on a hard carry anymore is probably a good thing for us. So yeah, I think just we need to make sure that we do stuff early.
And you recently wrote an article for Headspace about the importance of having a healthy headspace. Can you explain to us what you do with your team to keep them in a good mindset?
The main thing we do is something called Honesty Mondays. So usually our day off is Monday after playing on Sunday, and we sit down and we basically just take time to go around the group and say things that we appreciate and are frustrated by for each member of the team, including me and Amber, the manager, because we all interact a lot. And then we check on how people are improving on stuff that came up last week. And the idea is it's just like a really open environment and there's nothing simmering. People aren't saving up ammo to unleash on each other when someone else does something. So yeah, just a really big open discussion each week.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us and best of luck with this series.
Cheers.
Did you guys do honesty sessions? It's something that's actually creeping into the OPL more and more, I find, in the last couple of splits.
I feel like we tried. We were just an old bunch of people that spent way too much time around each other. Was not as effective. But give him hell, I like it.
I think he's right.
Yeah. I mean, they've done it. He's drafted that. He's drafted the give him hell comp. Sion, Zach Braum.
That's the one credit I will always give to Cyclone. Every single time he says, my comp does this, I feel like I look at it and I go, I agree.
Yes,
sometimes I look at comms and people are like, yeah, we draft for 1-3-1. I'm like, how? Like,
Syndra mid, side lane, what?
Whereas Cyclone, like, he's a pretty to-the-point guy. He's just picked a comp that goes in real good. There's Shock actually looking to zone Luch. Has cost him a couple of CS, but he's got him a very good chunk time and time again.
TP is available for the Corki, though, so we'll be able to just back off.
But this isn't a good shot for Corki.
No,
13 CS, this is a cull pickup. This is not something like an outright sheen. So, you know, see what he's able to grab coming into that. It's not even a cull. It's a long sword as well as a potion.
That's rough. That's real rough. Both mid laners.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does. Both junglers, sorry, not the mids,
now
looking
going to
around.
look for a gank here. Ooh, Will get the lava slap. Will pull him back. Does he flash forward? Get the auto attack. He burns a flash in response. Swathe now going to face check that brush. Will get chunked out a little bit. Two-man stun means that Seb's doing a lot of damage on the back of this.
Yeah, not to mention Rosie is floating up the river. The Caitlyn lane does have priority right now, so he's here to back up, but will be on vision. So someone is burnt on Luch. So advantage goes to Tectonic, but they fall fairly low.
Yeah, exactly right. But at the same time, bottom lane won't be under all that much threat now that Rosie's shown himself on some vision heading towards mid. Tilting going to be able to ward out there. Sion's just kicking creeps at Nara in the top lane. Seb's going to walk over a ward. He doesn't have legs, so he can't kick anything. Well, he does. He has 6 of them. They're just tiny.
He's got more than you. You're flaming him for his legs, mate. You got 2.
He's got 3 times as many legs as me. I just have to count.
You actually did look down. You're an idiot. Come on, man. Go on, back to the mid lane. Luch kind of turned the tides with that gank from mid lane. No summoner available, but fairly standard stuff. But I feel like unlocking Rosie this early in the game is good signs already. Picking up that Alistar once again. The early game was rough for him last time, but already they have that priority. Caitlyn doing exactly what you expect the Caitlyn lane to do. Ezreal's wave clear. Very poor. Tilting has not picked himself up a dematerialize, but neither is Rosie, though.
I feel like the reason he hasn't is because Tiger just solo pushes this lane.
Yep.
Even if Braum gets it, they're going to always have access first. So, and really, Braum isn't the champion that wants to roam as heavily.
I feel like it's a bit of a mind game, though, and Rosie's come up trumps because you should take Dematerializer, I think, into Ali because you expect him to take it. Yep. But in this situation where Rosie kind of greeds out and he doesn't, if Braum had that one, they might have been able to match slightly more successfully, especially on cannon waves.
Yeah,
but
in Windows.
Yep, only in Windows, because obviously Caitlyn will outpush Ezreal on the other waves, but he obviously doesn't opt into that one.
See, Papara is actually getting shoved in a little bit here by sleeping. See whether this trend continues. That's the animation I'm talking about. Do you remember how I was like, I hate the slow move animation? Is actually now sleeping goes past and we'll be able to pop that shield. Very slow move animation coming out of Sion.
Nice.
But he's not that wounded.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty wounded, to be honest. Sitting on 30% HP.
He wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
Sion never dies.
Still
Even when he dies, he doesn't die.
Yeah, he comes back. And then he takes out the other top laner for the return kill.
He actually used his pop there. Potentially they can look to continue. Ooh, there was a roam coming out of 2 members of Tectonic there. I thought that potentially Swathe and Shock were going to look for it. Bottom lane, Rosie is behind them.
Oh, this is going to be big. Braum shield already goes up, and the Skarner is here. Seb. Oh.
Very nicely done. However, they could be able to look for a stun here. Seb, however, should be stunned up here. Is there going to be a Mystic shot through? No. Rosie blocks.
Honestly, very nicely played out of the bottom lane from Tectonic. They do get themselves out of that sticky situation. Only level 5 was available for Seb. He's now hit 6, but there might just be face checking. No flash on the Braum. Seb is not willing to burn his flash. Potentially a misplay there. Could have secured that kill. No defensive summoner out of the Braum would have meant he would go down. Ignite easily picked up that kill onto Rosie.
But some good vision now gained on the bottom side of the map. See whether they sweep their own jungle. They kind of do, but not really. That was a 50-50 Scryer Bloom.
Essentially just looking to spot out the Skarner. Want to see him leave that jungle there, but as I was mentioning, nice outplay. The Tectonic bot lane where you get flanked by an ally. It's a very sticky situation. We saw last game with Swathe on the Jarvan. Time and time again, we were noting that he didn't actually hold his combo. He went in over that one. Rosie does it again this time, but he just walks up. He just pulverizes the ground. Unfortunately, Ezreal can get out of that one, and Tilting he could not find the extra CC after the flash. So well played at him. Basically gets them a summoner.
And we see a pretty even early game right now. Shock was able to get 2 summoner spells out of Luch and kind of zone him. However, that gank from Seb really helped him out. Top lane completely even, bottom lane 10 CS. So it's a 200 gold lead right now for Bombers. And I feel like if Tectonic can navigate this to 1.5 items when their tanks are a little bit tankier and they really come online, then, oh, actually, headbutt pole combo means heal straight away before the Ignite came out, but it's not going to be enough. Tilting falls down for first blood. In comes Sway, has the ultimate available, can kidnap Tiger right now, who does not have any mana available. However, Swathe doesn't use that ultimate, potentially going to look for Rosie. Now takes him back. Rosie, however, is very tanky, could just walk this one out. Swathe wins the Q, able to pull him back. Red buff trigger, actually gets the flash out.
Finally do get the flash out of the other star. That's a lot of summoners burn on the Bombers bottom lane. The flash on Tiger, the only one left.
Ooh, Luch in trouble in the mid lane. Is Shockwave going to go down? No. You see, he took a big chunk out of an attack command dissonance combo from Luch.
Jungler's trading blue buffs right now. Seb taking that one away. Paprise kind of poking his head around the corner, but decides he can't contest it. Top lane being shoved in by Sleeping, so...
Can Shock go get the blue buff? Because this could be a big deal. If Shock gets a blue buff and the Corki does not, I feel like that actually is real bad for the Corki matchup.
He does. Swathe gives that one over to the mid laner in Shock. Orianna very easily wave clear against the Corki with that blue buff, the extra mana regen. Luch trying to shove the wave out, did just base and TP back, so has the makings of his Triforce.
And Swathe a little bit greedily actually went over the wall, continued even though his bottom lane isn't there, and grabbed himself a wolf camp. So now has way more camps available.
Yep, just playing with the information that Paprise got. We saw him poke his head around the blue. He saw Seb up there. So he knows he has that extra time to take away one extra camp. Advantage going over to him. But he's overall just down in CS, down about 4 or 5 camps. He's 66 to 47 looking.
Shock in a little bit of trouble. In goes Tilting, however, he could just get ulti dragged back and does not.
Seb. What? What? He just doesn't use the ulti. Braum with no flash. Once again, I feel like that's twice this game already. He just decided not to ulti the Braum. Feels like Tilting is just not worth it.
The threat of having the ult, however, so high. As low has got chunked out here.
Might just be a bait though. Swathe looking over the wall.
Yeah, it certainly is. Can he get anything here? If you are kind of the Bombers right now, you have to expect something is going on. They're kind of stepping up when they weren't before. See whether Tiger with the flash can get out. Rosie has that hole. They're pinging out exactly where Swathe is, so they know.
It's pretty hard to gank this lane. The alley, if he actually cancels your... Whoop, base going to be cancelled by the rocket. But if the Zac cancels the slingshot, sorry, the alley does, and then he can Unbreakable Will out of the CC, you're really not going to be able to lock him down unless you get onto the Caitlyn.
Who's still got flash available, 90 caliber net, those kind of tools.
She can make the distance up between you and her, so fairly difficult. Swathe doesn't actually want to show himself entirely. Bomber sort of had the idea.
See, Paprise in the top lane still getting harassed continually, has fallen down 7 CS as well as some experience, 2 sleeping, so another good game out of the Bombers top laner.
Fairly even across the board. Nah, approaching his Black Cleaver purchase, almost there.
And it feels like we're going to have another pretty slow game. Apart from that, once again, I feel like blue side supports have just gone strangely aggressive a couple of times.
Yep.
Costing their team the first blood and kill. But this time around, it looks like it didn't lead to a turret. 1,000 gold is just going to be the lead off the first blood as well as the assist money.
But I'm honestly surprised with this bot lane priority for the Bombers that Seb hasn't revisited mid. They can bring up Rosie. They can go into that mid lane. Shock has been kind of sitting around there. He does have the barrier. He does have the flash, but they haven't even tried to pressure him off that wave. He was sitting at about half HP for a solid 4 or 5 waves there. That's a pretty big window.
Swathe actually going a little bit aggressive onto Luch. Could be ulti back here. No, has Aftershock. Just going to walk that one out. Actually stop the base, it looked like.
I say that though, but Seb kind of just getting more and more ahead. Tiger
very nice play out of Tilting there. They look to go forward onto Tiger. Rosie headbutts him back. He'll charge up the cowbells. Do they get the ultimate out of him? No, they miss the CC. So Rosie will just walk that one out. So ultimate burnt for nothing.
Yep, flash still available for Tiger, but Tectonic, the bottom lane turning this one around. They haven't had priority for the most part, but despite being down a kill, despite Caitlyn having that first blood, they do take it back. They turn it around.
Yeah, and that just means that Swathe gets a little bit more counter jungling done. He's kind of lived on this side of the map. You can see Seb is up big time in farm, but still equal in experience. Swathe has his whole bottom side of jungle available. Whereas Seb has nothing.
And he is walking down the bottom-hand side. Package is available for Luch, but Swathe is kind of floating around.
Where's the shockwave?
Can they
Pretty
actually
surprised
get
they
it?
actually didn't pull the trigger there. They get the package out.
That's a big deal. Priority in the bot lane looking for some sort of engage. The Skarner is there.
Yeah,
can Rosie get onto low?
Low, did he E4? He must have, because he actually burns both summoner spells to get the heck out of dodge.
Yeah, it's a big deal coming out. Swathe, nice job in the mid to burn the package, so Luch can't get down there, but it just does not matter. Seb running straight up the lane, not even through the jungle, comes from behind the Alistar. The aggressive play out of low bites him in the arse here, burns both some.
Shock actually gets jumped on by Luch. You can see Sleeping is coming down as well. Will go. Gets a boomerang. Airy flies. No, it's a fleet footwork, so Airy didn't fly in. That was actually Shock's Airy.
Yep. Just coming back, traveling all the way back home.
So that smite used by Seb. However, he's got another charge coming up. Base checks Swathe. Can they get anything here? No, mid lane being shoved in, bottom lane being shoved in. So Swathe might have to see control of his jungle.
But the big thing here is Skarner didn't even have to use his ulti for that bot play. They get both summoners, not having to burn their own. So Seb still contesting this one. They do have priority bot, as you mentioned. They could walk up, but looks like it might just be a smite fight between the two.
Yeah, and Swathe able to win that one.
Yep.
Seb just going to take the blast cone out, you feel like.
Not bringing over Rosie, actually.
Ali, yeah, going to say, coming out of lane.
Calls over the support from the Alistar, but bot lane sitting low, half HP, very low mana, and no mana available for tilting. He's going to get chunked as well. That's the Guardian proc, so they don't have that shield available.
Dive here, low, gets hit by the E, however, able to arcane shift away, but that should just be first turret going down.
That's it. They don't actually need to commit to the 3v3. Sleeping once again, looking mid lane. Shockwave is up.
Has to burn the flash, which was very peculiar.
And once again, because they forced away the Tectonic's bottom lane, this is going to be Tiger getting this turret all by himself. But they don't even need to keep the the tanks around in the Alistar and the Skarner. They're looking for mid.
Certainly.
He's just going over the wall.
Over the wall. Very nice from Rosie. However, cannot see what's going on, but Shock will fall down.
Flashed over the wall from the Wraith Pit there. That's going to be the next kill going over to Shock. 0-1 cannot hold his turret for the most part. Zac is walking over. So is the Braum. Sion has his ulti though. If Paprise can get in range, but they will just back away. Play the tempo play here.
Exactly right. They swapped the lanes on their head. Can see right now Sion's going into the bottom lane. Ezreal, who's going for a Trinity Force, is going towards that top side of the map with tilting.
Bit of a lane swap, potentially just looking to match, but we see it once again. Nice flash combo, fairly easy. Shock already half HP. Had the ulti, but didn't get a chance to use it. And once again, they've made another play. Seb's been here, but he hasn't used the ulti. He hasn't needed to.
Yeah, exactly. That time it was the right call not to use the ultimate. Rosie just able to get in behind. I think he burns the flash. He's got Hex Flash. No, he doesn't have Hex Flash. Last game he had Hex Flash, I swear. This time around doesn't take it. No, that's just creative pathing again. They knew that they cleared out vision in that side of the jungle as Seb had gone in there, and they're just able to pick up a free kill.
It's just really nice allocation of resources. They know they forced Tectonic to back away from the turret, so they can kind of play the pseudo pressure game, the implied pressure, because they're around the bot side and they know Tectonic don't have vision. So despite actually taking that first brick, they can also make a play in 2 points of the map. Swathe looking to get onto Rosie, but he does back away from the pink ward.
Yeah, you can see good vision coverage again. Actually, Rosie going to get slapped back here. This top lane turret's actually quite low. You feel that the roams that Sleeping's had got that kill because he burnt the flash. However, it's costing about 50% of turret health. I will take the trade, to be honest.
100%. You get your mid laner ahead. Luch once again ahead of the clock in CS, 167 for 15 minutes. So, has done wonders for his mid laner right now, Sleeping.
Teleport from Luch back to mid lane as the waves are absolutely nowhere near crashing. I feel like that's a very Luch teleport.
Yeah, absolutely. Too. Very Luch. I mean, for the most part, I can kind of understand it in this very specific situation. They have wave control and lane control in all 3 lanes right now, so they want to kind of hold the pressure, but Seb might have just been caught out. Has to flash.
That's the ultimate out of tilting. However, teleport will be channeled and cancelled.
Okay, so TP advantage going over to Tectonic right now. Luch burns his mid lane, and now it actually matters because they have 2 versus the 1, but the 1 is up. Paprise can get to topside if they do force a play. Swathe has been looking time and time again this game.
But he has not yet pulled the trigger. And I think that whilst we've been saying that Seb's had some opportunities, also feel like Swathe has had some, and he just hasn't really gone in as we see Low actually go forward, get some good damage onto Tiger.
They haven't got a kill. He's been bot lane a few times, so they tried to get a few summoners out of the bot lane, burnt the ignite and the flash out of Rosie, but
now looking for Seb. However, Seb's going to scuttle towards him. We'll get some good damage down here. You can see that Luch is coming as well. Does kidnap Seb and immediately burns the flash.
Yeah, I mean, smart play, to be honest. The unstoppable of the ulti means that Skarner can't ulti in them, but As soon as he lands, he knows Seb would be looking
Oh,
to
that's
root
a
him back.
trap.
Big
Huge
combo.
headbutt pole. Low has to burn the E as well as the heal straight away.
Does he ulti
And
the Braum?
potentially
He does.
tilting will fall down, gets taken away.
Oh.
You can see right now they're actually
Oh.
able to get the 2-for-1 special because I don't see how tilting gets out of this one. And they actually alley-oop it over to Tiger. Beautiful play from Bombers.
Seb, time 1 doesn't choose to. Time 2.
Oh, Paprise
actually.
gets him. Nice solo 1v1 kill. Some part of the map needed to give, and right now, Paprise comes up with the goods.
Yeah, completely opposite to game 1. The Bombers bot lane is the one with all the pressure. Sleeping falls down. Nah versus Sion. That one hurts dying the 1v1, but Seb actually did pull the trigger this time. He sees the Braum, time number 3. Means he does actually pull the trigger on the ulti there, takes him down. Double kill for the bot lane of Bombers.
However, right now, 4,000 gold lead for Bombers means they're in a massive position of power. Even though Nah fell down, he is still looking to win the 1v1 at the moment.
I mean, he fell down because he dove.
Yeah.
He was under the turret, trying to fight, pretty greedily, to be honest. He burnt his flash, but also got Paprises out as well. But, I mean, like, he does have lane priority for the most part. He can continue to push him in. Got that cleaver, means you can shred
Swayth
some of that armor
potentially
down.
looking for Luch. Luch keeps stepping up. Swayth doesn't want to go in for it.
Just over a 20 CS lead for Luch in the mid lane right now, approaching 200 at 18 minutes. We're only 18 and a half in, so Baron spawning in 1.5 minutes.
See, Paprise actually floats up and covers mid lane whilst they get the shop in for the Orianna. Just felt like he'd been stuck in that lane for too long. He actually had a completed Morellonomicon as well as the makings of a Horning Guy, so I'd agree, just been getting shoved in over and over again.
And it's pretty funny how much the spawn of the first dragon just completely changes the way the game's played. Because it's just an air, so everyone's like, nah, man.
Sleeping.
That thing sucks.
Actually looking sneaky right here.
He's alone, completely alone, though. Does he get it?
Does get it.
Does.
Actually, no. Smite comes out of Swayth. You can smite when you're stunned.
He can. Didn't react in time there, so Sleeping picks that one up with the W ult to Q combo. Yeah. And he goes immediately into mini, so he actually had kill threat. Swayth just had to walk away, slow applied, extra 2 damage burning away.
Absolutely. I mean, at this stage of the game, top lane is going to absolutely destroy junglers, level 12 to level 10. You saw how much ulti damage that ulti did alone. So once he had the red buff, there's nothing for Swayth to stick around for.
Yeah, but this is the hardest turret to break right now. It's fairly low. They're dropping the Rift Herald, so this one will just go down.
Yeah, they
immediately
have the
one
package.
charge.
They have Rift Herald. They have Rosie's ultimate as
They
well as
even need
Flash
it.
combo available.
Oh, Swayth.
In they go. Swayth looks for it. Cannot be disabled. Very nice use of the ultimate. However, one charge will go. Rosie goes in. Looks for shock. Can they turn this fight around? Tilting gets stunned up. Has to flash away. However, Rosie very low. Will block
Shockwave,
it. Big 3-man Shockwave on the back end. Good ultimate out of low as well. Somehow Tilting went down on the back end of that play. Did not see it.
Sleeping actually flanked behind the turret there. Boomerang takes down the Braum, but they get the mid lane out of turret. They can't commit onto the second. Actually, they're sticking around for the most part.
Because he's still 0-0. So it couldn't have been that. Potentially a red buff or something. As you see, low goes in.
Looking for this inner turret. Orianna in base, so Swayth, despite charging up that elastic slingshot, doesn't really want to go in.
Has no real threat. He's just doing it for the sake of doing it. And,
looks scary.
Yeah, Bombers, they break over mid lane turret. They get themselves a kill, and right now 4-0-0 for Tiger. Means he's huge. This
one against Seb, unfortunately. Hits the ulti onto the unstoppable Zac, so he gets away scot-free. Rosie, nice again, flash combo forwards. And we'll have to see how Tilting goes down, because he gets ultied by the Caitlyn, but it does get blocked out. It doesn't. It doesn't. Straight through the middle. Swayth comes over the top, but the ace in the hole actually takes him down. They look to siege a little bit more, but at the end of that, they do not pick up the turret in the end.
Yeah, that looked like it did. But
it looked like it did get stopped, but it just went straight through.
Yeah, it went straight through, so that's going to be another kill picked up for Tiger, who is now going towards 3 items at this stage of the games. Is a
TP.
menace. TP coming in, as you
Rosie's
mentioned.
behind.
Rosie is behind. Low has to go on top of Sleeping. He's got a Frozen Mallet, will be slowed. However, Low flashes away. Unstoppable right now for Tiger. Swayth gets puts into Bloblets. And Rosie still just flanking means they cannot have anything to do with this Bombers lineup. You can see Seb still looking to chase through. Blue buff will fall down. That was an ulti out of Paprise on the back end of it. And that should just be Baron, to be honest.
Potentially 2 members dead. No jungler, so the Smite fight is not available. Can they contest? Ezreal Orianna do a decent job, but without the Sion ulti, they maybe just don't have the front line available. Rosie's kind of looking for a pick in between them and the Baron.
7 Sleeping don't have all that much armor, so they're going to turn off the Baron as we see the fight. No, just peel away. So good job from Tectonic to make sure that objective doesn't go over. 6,000 gold down. That's the last thing you need to be fighting against. Good use of the Scion Slow there will mean that Luke gets Shockwave, will fall down. However, now Tiger is absolutely destroying them. Rosie, another two-man headbutt pulverized. That will be barrier used by Shock, but he's just getting chased down by an angry cow. No, will be stunned up, will fall down, and now they're onto sleeping. This is the one time he doesn't want to be Mega Knight. However, Tiger comes across, helps out his mate, and will be able to kick them away from the turret.
And split call out of the Bombers. Seb actually goes back to base there. Did not fall down, but was nowhere near the play. Means Tectonic potentially just looking at this inner. Swathe is going to charge up. Do they dive?
Goes in for it. Will be able to get onto the carry. Will be able to take him back despite the flash. And he gets shot down. Now, Paprice, where is the ultimate? Not yet up and available. However, will be able to knock up Sleeping. Seb's in big trouble. And all of a sudden, Tectonic turned into an ARAM, and they come up huge.
We mentioned Bombers could have been looking at the Baron. They were, but they peel off Tectonic so close. If they could take down Seb, that would have been 30 seconds on the biggest member of the red team there. Caitlyn goes down, no smite available. They could have been the ones with the Baron threat, but they just can't quite take down the Scorpion, so they take the turret, they back away.
And we saw the example that when there's not both carries up and available, the tanks just don't die. Paprice and Swathe were under the turret for an eternity, but just it did not mean anything to this Scion. Level 15, highest level on the map right now. Two completed items. He's massive.
That's big. That's a big scary zombie in the top lane. Ulti coming up fairly soon, but no TPs really available for either top laner right now. Luce still holding on to his. But we take a look at the gold lead, 3,000 in the favor of the Bombers right now. Most of it in Tiger's pocket.
Yeah, Tiger has got about 1,400. Seb's got about 1,000 as Swathe gets headbutted away. However, got that Scuttle Ward, Scuttle Grab.
Seb not willing to burn his own, so that will be Tectonic with control over that one. As it's kind of annoying, to be honest, for the Bombers. They have priority bot lane. They're setting up around the Baron. They have so many pings.
Paprice in the bottom lane does go mini Gnar. However, not really all that much happening there. That's a strange use of the ultimate at this stage of the game. You would expect him to leave it for team fights, not for really side lane push.
I feel like potentially it might actually just be because they got the Scuttle Crab. Because they know they can't really actually set up around the Baron unless they're willing to commit to tanking that one. Rosie doesn't want to burn the ulti and he's building magic resist, so Skarner's the only one with pure health that can tank this one up. So maybe realizes that, is communicated to the top lane, so he just uses it in the side lane, waiting for that one to time out.
Potentially the case. As Shock actually gets spotted out low, will just run away. I wonder if Trinity Force is so Shock can get away from Skarner.
Maybe.
The phase proc is actually helping him a lot against this really quick Predator Skarner.
But I feel like Aunt Slow is more effective, especially with Skarner.
Potentially, as Swathe actually goes in. Will flash forward. Ultimate use from tilting as well. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but this should be enough to pick up their kill. In came Paprice and teleport now channeled and cancelled.
By Luch, yeah. He's stuck in the base. Does he have the package? He's stopping for it, so he will have that one available, moving very quickly out of this, but 4v5 for the Bombers right now.
Feel like they used one too many ultimates, however. With tilting, Paprice and Swathe's ultimate all on cooldown. No real way to start a fight, even though it's a 5v4 situation, but still some measure of control regained. Getting that gold lead back towards the 3,000 mark is a very big deal right now for Tectonic.
Yeah, despite not really having a jungler around, they do have control of this area. Waves pushing in. Gold lead still in favor for the Bombers right now. And Tiger's sitting pretty good right now. Low, approaching his bulk, wants to complete his third item, but Tiger's already there.
However, Caitlyn's never been the best against tanks.
Yep.
She's not a Vayne or an Ezreal. She's not a Bork user, really. She, like, 2 hits carries, but does struggle to get through tanks every now and again. A Swathe will get stunned up. Was actually looking with a ball on top of him. However, Luch going to walk into tilting, take a slow.
And I feel like Rosie is actually stepping up to the plate here, because Seb, if you take a look at his build, has gone for the Warmogs, not the Righteous that we've seen.
Bottom lane, this is a frozen mallet fight, so it could actually turn into something, as also Tiger has come across. No flash available for Paprice, will get trapped up, and will eventually fall down. Very good pick. However, with 3 members on the bottom side of the map, can they even start up Baron? No. Yeah. They decide they can't.
Just clearing out some vision. They do get the Spire as well. Shock just walking towards the blue buff, and the top wave wants to clear that one out, get the buff for himself, but a nice pick off in the side lane right now. Paprice still dead for another 30 seconds, so Bomb is looking for something onto tilting here.
Yeah, certainly our tilting can potentially flash the wall, will be able to do so.
So close to being in range for that ulti for Skarner there, can't quite close the gap, and that's where Glory would have meant. They could have actually closed the gap, they could have got the pick there, but goes for the tankier build, especially. We've mentioned the tanks for these lineups, but if you go Righteous Glory and then all you have is the Cinder Hole.
They're actually going to fight him. No, not able to tag him up with the Q. They're so split at the moment that Swaith is just continually jumping at them.
Yep, but...
Sorry.
Nah, obviously in the side lane, right? Ali doesn't really tank Baron very well without burning that ulti, which he doesn't want to use. So Seb recognizes that, goes for the wall mog, so he can be the one to do that job.
Yep.
Right now, so I like the adaptation out of him. Kind of concedes a little bit of pick pressure, but overall will benefit.
Trying to chip down this turret right now.
Who gets the crab?
No one. They actually go for the team fight again. Seb gets ultied up. Will actually go back, and a huge ultimate out of Tilting, and they bring them back together. Rosie now will get stunned up as well, and Swaith just is not dying in this front line. Shockwave nails Luge, and Paprise is in on the back line. Rosie now getting chased down by multiple members. They let him live with Seb dead. That should mean Baron.
And that's honestly such a surprising fight. The carries, Luge and Tiger were just free hitting, but Swaith with the stopwatch as well just does not die. They're contesting. Rosie doesn't have the ulti, so he's a very squishy cow.
However, Tiger is massive. Ingo's sleeping, looks for the ultimate, however, only gets Tilting. Now tagged up, goes into Minina, and will fall into the GA. Swaith getting chased out, however, that should be the hammer coming down. Paprise grabs that one, and now surely they cannot contest.
Flash still available for the Alistar, so they can look for something. Tiger has very little mana here. If he uses any more traps, he won't have enough for the
flash.
net.
I'm so surprised that Swaith just hasn't gone over the wall. Now he is. They go for it. However, we'll just be able to kite him out. Gets put into Bloblets. Rosie should fall down. Seb is back. In comes a teleport out of Luch, and they want to continue this fight. Maybe, just maybe, they can win this one. You can see Paprise gets stunned up, falls down. No shockwave available. Luch goes to the wall. Rosie, huge three-man headbutt pulverized. Will continue this fight. Tilting, that means a triple kill for Luch. And Bombers continue and win.
And the indecisive play out of Tectonic. They don't know whether to commit to the Baron, but they do go for the fight. Rosie buys them enough time with the 80 carry. Tiger for the TPs to come up. Luch makes his way back. Seb can get back into the fight. Now they are going to be the ones to pick up the Baron.
And I kind of think that Low could have nearly contested that because they are so low. And it is only 3 members. However, Bombers, they turn, they get the objective, they extend the gold lead back out to about 5,000.
So back and forward so far. Team fight so incredibly close here.
This is what happens when everyone is a tank and the damage dealers just don't do that much damage at this stage of the game.
They're whacking away.
They live forever.
And we see this once more. And the engage is pretty good coming out. I'm actually genuinely surprised that Tiger and Luch just can't do enough damage here. There's double tank in Tilting and the Zac, and they're kind of splitting their damage. Luch is throwing rockets at the carries, and this shockwave means he goes down immediately. Paprise zones off Tiger, so it's a nice set of picks to kind of set up the play, but pretty interesting. Once they go over towards the Baron, they started up. Sleeping is Mega, and kind of waiting for that one to time out. He's kind of just buying enough time as possible. Shock flashes away from that one, but the big tanks on the lineup, the Scion, the Zac, means that Tiger's not really doing any damage, so Sleeping, because he can't land the big combo on the initial play, goes down. GA kind of wasted here. They just buy enough time for the rest of the members to come back and contest.
Yeah, but they still want to fight. In goes Sway, gets the carry, and he just gets absolutely blown up. And now Seb, under fire, will have to wiggle his little scorpion bum back to his turret.
Caitlyn does the most damage on the lineup of the Bombers right now. Picked up himself up at the last Whisper upgrade, so he goes down for free. No flash available. Nice play out of Sway. Did actually get combo because he buffered it through the ulti. Unstoppable there. Snatches him back into the team. That is the pick over to Tectonic. Sleeping. He's just pushing top.
Exactly right. And can they collapse on him in time? No, they cannot. So whilst Tectonic get the pick, Bombers get the objective and get out scot-free.
But I mean, like, they have the Baron right now in the lineup of Bombers. If Tectonic can buy themselves enough time, and that's what the pick does. Yep. All they're going to get is that inner turret and this air Drake as well. They're going to have to wait for the recall. And can they set up on the other side of the map? Because if at 31 minutes into the game, you deny a team really making big plays with the Baron, I feel like that's pretty important.
Certainly is, and the longer this game goes, the better Orianna is going to scale those big shockwaves. If he ever hits Luch and Tiger in the same shockwave, you feel like it just might be game
over. 100%. If he gets both carries, all they have is 2 threats. Sleeping doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
However, now Shock has gone too far forward. May have to burn it here. Does do so. Chunks out Luch to half health, but now will not have it for the next fight, and this turret should just fall.
He's also working on the death cap, not anything like the Void. There's a fair amount of ammo, actually.
In goes Swaith again. That's going to be the ultimate out of base coming for Paprise. Do they pull the train up short? Yes, they do. Just stopping all stations this time around.
Tiger might actually just go towards the mid lane, take down that inner turret instead. Leaves the rest of his team down bottom. Tectonic are answering the big combo there. The big group of the Bombers lineup, but he just takes that one down for free. Doesn't have Baron himself.
And still no Death Cap picked up. So even though we really would like a book, a mask, and a hat, just does not have the completed combo to go to a party right now.
I like that. I like that one.
And I kind of...
Is that what you wear to parties?
Oh, yeah.
A book, a mask, and a hat?
Yeah, 100%,
okay.
Dude.
That's an outfit. Hell yeah.
No pants. But at the same time, what I was going to say is there is no MR apart from one raincoat being picked up by sleeping. So why would you go avoid stuff? Death Cap just does more damage.
Overall, bigger shield as well for low.
Yep.
Bigger shield for the Zac, actually, to be honest.
As he flies in. I like
makes the tanks tankier.
1,700 gold picked up, so he's got it. He can go back quite soon, grab himself that. You see blue buff given over to Tiger.
Gold leads basically across the board so far.
By the way, if you have boots too and you're inside the base, it's actually quicker nearly to walk back, especially if you get a speed up like Orianna.
I feel like it's well, if you have a speed up, that changes it. But if you're like outside the turret, potentially maybe quicker to recall. But
yeah, potentially.
If you're inside the turret, it depends. Surely someone's done the math somewhere. I feel like I've actually seen the math written down. I've seen like one of those images with like a range indicator. Like
I've seen it.
This is quicker to run back, but especially when I'm a support player, so I have mobies all the time, so I can just run. Doesn't even matter.
I'm a big fan though of hitting B and just taking off my hands off my keyboard, kind of cracking my knuckles.
Stretch, you know, yeah. Get a relax in. But bit of a contest over the topside river right now.
Yeah, Baron not back up and available. However, they do want to get rid of some of the vision. You can see at this stage of the game, Nah is decisively winning the split push.
I feel like Bombers right now are just playing it fairly slow because the flashes are just barely coming up. Lucha's a few seconds away, same with Rosie. They're just waiting for the engage tools, and they kind of have one big button. If they don't land the alley combo, if they don't land the Skarner ulti onto a priority target, could be detrimental, could be hard for them to get in.
Swayth, however, will get flashed on. However, a very nice buffering of the ultimate again means that the flash ultimate does not come up from Seb.
And the Zac versus Skarner 1v1. That's 2 from 2 out of Swayth. Gets himself to safety, and that's a big cooldown. That was not to mention also the flash.
Rosie might be chunked out here. Does go over the wall? No, it's going to be Swayth. Gets the flash out. Swayth can maybe knock him against the wall, bring him back a little bit. Does not go for it.
Yeah, they actually might just be caught in here.
They're caught in the wall. Yeah, that's going to be Tilting having to burn the ultimate. However, Caitlyn now in some trouble. Will have to burn the flash as well as the heal. Tilting will have to burn his flash in response. Rosie on the back line. Luch gets ulted up by Shock, but Swayth is just getting chased down. Gets blobleted. Do they teleport to save him? No, they do not. And a crucial pick with Baron coming up in 90 seconds.
And not to mention a crucial ulti out of the Orianna. Had to use it defensively to keep Luch away. Did not want to die, so half HP, no mana. Has to walk back to base there for the Orianna.
And mid lane turret will be broken off the back end of it if they send everyone back. And Tiger just is eating them alive.
And their first engage didn't quite stick. Seb goes over the wall, can't pick off the Zac. They're looking for it, actually. No shockwave available, but Tiger's respecting the damage out of the ball.
Yeah, exactly right. You can see right now, Rosie gets chunked out without the ultimate, is not tanky whatsoever, so they do just back away. They do not want to pick to go out with 60 seconds on Baron. That would just be a rush.
They're just such an ulti-reliant composition. No alley. Skarner's just came back up, and no Gnar as well. It means
both
they don't
teams are.
Yep. They don't want to walk into the base. They don't want to walk through that choke. Shockwave is off cooldown fairly soon. It's very hard, not to mention against something like the Braum, the Zac. There's so much AoE, the Scion. Walking through that choke to commit to the inhib means they could put themselves in danger. You mentioned only 40 seconds on the Baron. They don't want to get picked off right now. Death timers. We're 35 minutes into the game, so they're fairly long.
Yeah, certainly are. You can see right now, sleeping, just continuing to chip away. He's a 3-ping forward top laner. I like to see it.
He is. 100%. Time and time again. Control over the Baron pit right now goes towards Tectonic. But Bomber's just coming out of base right now, looking to contest right now. Paprice going back to base.
Swayth looking for a Randuin's Omen. 2 crit-reliant 80 carries is a big pickup if he's able to go towards that one. Adaptive Helmet was picked up by Paprice. Kind of interesting. Against Corki, it does a lot, but I feel like Randuin's would be the go-to purchase here.
Yep, Luch is showing on the top wave, so Tectonic know exactly where he is. Elder Drake will be spawning in a minute as well, but Swayth was charging up. He's looking for an opportunity. Paprice can close the gap. He's got his ulti available. Everything is up for the lineup of Tectonic.
Go for a fight. Low looking forward. Does he hop in? No, he does not. Luch has caught out Swayth on the other end. Chunks him to half health. Rosie headbutt pole onto 2 tanks. You can see they're continuing this. Swayth looking over the edge, was waiting for the ball, and that means everyone is out of range. So Tectonic fight for mid lane control, able to get it. Now will disappear into fog.
And you can tell exactly what Tectonic want to do. As soon as he charges up that elastic slingshot on Swaith, the ball goes on. They're looking for the
one
wombo.
more time. Can they get it onto Luch? No, they decide not to pull the trigger.
Oh.
Instead, Shock is being grabbed up by Seb and will fall down.
Oh.
Hula hoop of a shockwave, and they just have to head for the hills. You see, sleeping onto the back line. Good disengage out of tilting.
And a nice flank from Seb. Didn't even need the flash, just gets in range of the Orianna. Burns both summoners, but does get knocked up by Rosie. That's the big pick the Bombers needed. The base is already broken. There's no turret. Oh!
Luch flashes forward. Tiger with some very smooth plays. Both carries dead. It's just going to be the tanks available. Can they even defend this base?
Do they even try? Push the Nexus? Do they go back for the Baron? Nah. Stopping the recall out of Sion. Braum's going to channel his off, but goes through. Well, they're looking for more.
Yeah,
Swaith.
you can see Swaith just trying to kidnap, but there's still one creep up and available, and the other tanks aren't here yet trying to defend this one. It does fall down. Swaith will fall as well, and you can just see they're sitting under the turret. Tilting goes down, and now another creep wave will join. This should be game right now. They just get rid of Paprise, and they're focusing the turret, and you can just see
Tiger
eventually will fall. And now, with everyone dead on the side of Tectonic, Bombers will pick up their first 2-0 of the series.
They're popping off. We can hear them through the wall. The Bombers pretty excited with that victory just there. 2-0. Everyone on the analyst couch. I picked Tectonic in this one. Bombers felt like just didn't come together cohesively as a team, but today, proving everyone wrong for the most part.
Yeah, I think led by their captain Rosie on Alistar, back-to-back games, really a standout performer for me. Giving credit where credit's due. That game from start to finish, he actually just played very well. And I think the Bombers showed that, you know, if things fall into place, if they get their comps, they are able to string a game together.
Yeah, 100%. It is versus Tectonic. Have to see how they fare for the rest of the season, because this is potential for an upswing here. We were mentioning that it's not the rookies that have been like underperforming on this roster. It is the veterans that need to step up. But Rosie, I feel like, as you mentioned, was that player there, 100%. Sleeping also had a good series overall.
Yep.
I feel like Seb as well on the Skarner. I feel like a few times mis-execution, but he got the game-winning pick, 100%. That has to be a confidence play getting onto the Orianna. Didn't even have flash. They were just such an ulti-reliant composition. Didn't have those buttons up, but they still finally managed to get onto Tectonic, and that's going to be the victory.
And a little bit of indecision out of Tectonic. The one thing I've said is when they do get to the part of the game where they have items, they are willing to make plays. But this time around, they were playing a little bit hesitant. When you're a Zach, you can kind of repetitively throw yourself into the team fight because you have Warmogs, you got Bloblets. It's very hard to take you down.
You got shields coming out. You got Braum to block damage as well. Ori will keep you up.
Exactly right. But this time around, didn't look to be the case. And little falters here and there. Nothing major. Just meant that Bombers were able to take advantages, accrue themselves a lead, and ultimately win the game.
I feel like you have to credit Bombers a little bit, playing around that wombo fairly well. But,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%. But they were just kind of looking for the perfect setup. And when you don't get it, he's like charging up his slingshot, and he's like looking for the play, wants to get onto the carry, can't quite find it, so it fizzles. And they just couldn't quite find the perfect play, so they never really pulled the trigger.
But at the same time, Bombers able to pick up their first series victory this season. It must be like there was the elephant in the room. They've got bought in the imports. They've got big backing coming in. They've already talked about, you know, how much it means playing for a team like the Bombers, the infrastructure that they have around them. It would feel very good for these players to now, you know, be able to reward the club and come away with a
and whether the pressure is from things like the club or like just from themselves, right? Coming in, you mentioned the backing that they've had, and they have just been underperforming for the first part of the split. And finally, the monkey is eventually off their back. Where only week 6 into the season, but I feel like it is a big deal for them to actually get a win and start working from here.
Especially in the fashion they did, because they got their first victory playing a 4-1 comp, played around the 1 very well in sleeping. Second time around, they play more of a team fight comp. They're able to execute on both ways, showing they're a multifaceted team. That's got to feel good. Yeah,
100%. I feel like they can play from both sides. They've shown that both sides of the coin can be a threat, and I feel like diversity is one of the best things in League of Legends for a team to have. If you're one-directional, you're very easy to play against, and they've shown that they're not.
Yeah, exactly right, and the key players stepping up in that match. So we will throw it over to Laura, who's alongside with one of the Victorious Bombers members.
Thank you very much, guys. Charlie and I are happy to be joined by Sleeping, the top laner for the Bombers. Hello. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel getting your first win of the split?
It feels insanely good. There's no words.
No words.
I'm just really happy.
Yeah, speaking of that win, what do you think enabled you guys to step up this week? Is there something differently you're doing in practice? Did you just have good preparation, or what do you think?
I think lately we've been doing a lot better in scrims, and maybe we're slowly trying to, getting the results in on stage as well. Like, I've been getting more confident on and on.
Definitely showed that game.
Yeah, that's why that Sion solo kill happened, because I did a little oopsie. So, yeah, I think we're getting a lot better as a team, and yeah.
How are you able
It's
to like
looking
maintain composure, like yourself and as a team, when throws like that occur in games?
Well, in this game, I basically just said like, let's calm down and stuff like this. Like we knew we were in a good spot, so
Yep.
we definitely knew like if we just calm down and look what we can play for, we can definitely just win the game straight up.
Sure. And what are your goals like for the rest of this season?
Well, for this split, playoffs are really far away, but I believe we can make it. Maybe it's gonna require some big luck.
I think we've got to lose quite a lot of games.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but yeah, I think we're gonna look to use the remaining games if we're relying on Avant, right? Yeah. So if you guys take the next game, I think we're gonna probably just look to use the remaining games as like confident boost and looking to like translate more and more of our scrim results into the stage.
Yeah, get as much experience as you can and just prep for split 2,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
sounds good.
definitely.
Sleeping, we always see you laughing and having a good time on player cameras. Do you consider yourself to be the funny guy on the Bombers?
Well, I think my entire team does consider me kind of like the clown of the team. So yeah, I'm just trying to have a good time and keep myself in the game.
How have you been finding it in Australia as well? I can imagine it's a big move.
It's hot. It's really hot. Like even right now.
Even right now.
Yeah.
Well, Sleepy, do you have any words you'd like to say to your fans or even family or friends that may be watching from home?
Well, I would like to say hi to my mom then, who's probably watching, and maybe some friends and my fellow Twitch chatters. I love them. I absolutely love them.
Well, congratulations on your win once again.
Thank you very much.
Also, a big shout out to Charlie and also Parby for joining us on the couch. It's been a pleasure having you here and your insights. Also, a big thank you to Headspace for joining us this week. If you ever need information on mental health or some advice, please head over to headspace.org.au. I'd encourage everyone watching to take some time to go look at that website. And don't forget about the live chat they will be hosting at eHeadspace on Tuesday, the 27th of February between 7 and 8 p.m. It is tailored for League of Legends players, so please go check it out. More information on that can also be found at headspace.org.au/League of Legends. But to close out our Headspace Super Week, let's send it over to Jake and Bryce.
Thanks so much, and it was good to hear from Sleeping. It was also funny to watch Bryce try and drink a glass of water that he just absolutely piffed all over himself.
We lasted so long in the day. What? Oh, we're so close to the end of the show, and it's just everywhere.
Yeah, exactly right. So
Well,
unfortunately, good commentator, bad drinker of water. However, with that, Bombers able to pick up their first 2-0 of the season. But Order will be top of the ladder, 6-1. Even though they dropped the game versus Direwolves, the 2-0s hold them in good stead, now 19 points. They will join Direwolves and the Chiefs Esports Club as the teams currently locked for playoffs. Legacy and Avant round out the current playoff positions with Bombers, Sin, and Tectonic still trying to make a late surge.
And that's what we saw out of Sleeping in the interview there. He says it's hard. We have to rely on these other teams losing AV and Legacy respectively because the top 3 are locked. But there is potential for them to make the gauntlet if things can go their way. If they can continue getting 2-0s, if AV and Legacy do stumble, then there's potential.
Yeah, exactly right. You always have to hold on to hope. However, as we bring up next week's schedule, guys, Saturday, 2 p.m. is going to be Tectonic taking on Avant before Sin Gaming go up against the Bombers. And then an absolute banger, Bryce. It's the Legacy versus the Chiefs. OPL Classic Ho before the Order boys take on Direwolves in a battle for top spot. Honestly, if it goes well for the Chiefs and Direwolves and Order just beat each other up and Chiefs sneak a 2-0 victory, they can take top spot off that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to be potential? Weird things can happen. I feel like Legacy really have to step it up in terms of competing against the top teams. They struggle against AV. They played Chiefs before, and it's going to be a hard matchup for them overall.
It certainly is. If you're going to pick a game to go the distance, Legacy Chiefs, Order Direwolves, which one is it?
Direwolves, Order, 100%. We've seen it go to 3 games. Schönfire literally entered game 2. We've seen that happen only once in the OPL so far. And I feel like we saw Juves yesterday saying Schönfire's having a rough patch, so maybe this could be the time Order actually pick up the win.
Potentially, it was just good vision control and control over the map.
Yeah?
But
Okay.
Schön did actually strike back and pick his team up
he
for
did.
2-1
They won.
victory. However, guys, that is all the League of Legends action we have for you today and this Super Week. So on behalf of myself, Bryce, everyone that's been on the Analyst Hangout, our entire production crew, Hungry Jackson, of course, Headspace, thank you so much for hanging out with us this weekend. Look after each other, and we will catch you next Saturday. will be able to get onto the carry, will be able to take him back despite the flash, and he gets shot down. Now Paprise, where is the ultimate? Not yet up and available. However, will be able to knock up Sleeping. Again, Seb gets ulted up. Will actually go back, and a huge ultimate out of Tilting, and they bring them back together. Rosie now will get stunned up as well, and Sway just is not dying in this front line. Shockwave nails Luge, and Paprise is in on the back line. They go for it, however, will just be able to kite him out. Gets put into Bloblets. Rosie should fall down. Seb is back. In comes the teleport out of Luke, and they want to continue this fight. Maybe, just maybe, they can win this one. You can see Paprise gets stunned up, falls down. No shockwave available. Luke goes to the wall. Rosie, huge 3-man headbutt pulverize. Will continue this fight. Tilting, that means a triple kill for Luke. And Bombers continue and win. Yeah, but they still want to fight. In goes Sway, gets the carry, and he just gets absolutely blown up. And now Seb, under fire, will have to wiggle his little scorpion bum back to his turret. And you can just see
Tiger
eventually will fall. And now, with everyone dead on the side of Tectonic, Bombers will pick up their first 2-0 of the series.